Hello, my name is Mariette. I am an author and a mother of 4 children. Today I'm going to share with you my plan for my life and the Almighty plan for my life. And I'm going to talk about my first book here. It's My Patient God Gift. My plan, because I came from Vietnam, the country that at that time, probably third world country, I had absolutely no plan. I am an oldest daughter of a family of 3 girls, no boy. My little sister passed away when she was about probably 3 or 4, left me and my younger sister, which she's still in Vietnam right now. I still try to get her to united with me and for my children for 40 years, and she's still not here yet because the U.S. immigration and the Department of State mess up her record badly. That's why she's still not here. Back there when I was in Vietnam, I was a very young age. I had a laundry and tailor concession with the U.S. Army 2nd Squadron 11 Camp. And after U.S. Force returned to U.S., I went to work for United States Department of Defense. We call that DAO is the short word that we call, and this organization in U.S. we have a reunion and meeting every year around the 30th of April in different city. So if you would like to join us somehow, check on us so you can join us to understand that where we came from. I then got an invitation, that time I still in the Catholic Church, from one of the Vietnamese priests that I knew when I was youth back in Vietnam. And he has the dedication of the church in New Orleans. So he invited me. He asked me to be the interpreter for the bishop, an American priest. And I said, okay. So I went over, stayed through the whole thing. It was on Saturday, I think. And I decided to come back on Monday. So the next day after dedication, it was Sunday, and the Mass was at 10 o'clock. So I woke up in the morning. I was in Holiday Inn Hotel. I woke up at about 6 o'clock, and I said, oh, I still have a lot of time. So I went back to sleep. In my dream, I was walking, stepping up in the sidewalk, heading to the back of the church where the sanctuary. Jesus came from St. Anthony Garden, walked to me. He wear white ankle-length robe, red, deep, fresh red cloth. He heart full with phlegm, but no sewer, no thorn, just only heart and phlegm. And I saw him walk to me. I said to him, I say, Jesus, whatever you want me to do, I will do them. But please, don't appear in front of me and tell me that I have to tell people that I saw you. People are going to think that I'm crazy. when I woke up in the morning, my tear come out. I wouldn't feel anything or think anything, but my tear come out. I went to mass, my tear come out, and I got home, back to the hotel, my tear come out. I say, wait, I cannot stay here. I kind of want to remove everything else, so I changed my flight. Returned to San Diego. The entire flight I flew home, my tears still come out. I wasn't crying, but because the power come through my body, break myself, loose. That's why my tear come out. The tear come out is symbolic of the suffering that I must endure in my future life. In another word, that during the time that I beginning serve God, to whatever writing or speaking, I will be suffer. It means that my body become a vessel for power of God come through. Good, bad, everything. That's how come through my dream. For the power come down from spiritual realm down to earthly realm. You need to understand that everything create in the divine realm, invisible realm. The realm full of power, and everything must create there before it come down to earth. That's why in the Bible say the earth is a copy of heaven. That's what that means. My boss back in Vietnam was Mr. Rep J. He was U.S. Civil Service, GS 15 level with the new color. I believe that because I saw he worked together with Vietnamese Air Force color Chuck. And I was his secretary, and they are also all the employees in the same office with us. One day, I hand over something for him to sign. He said, by the way, I'm gonna leave early. When evacuation time comes, you get your family and go. And I say, where are you going? Because I knew that he still remained like about 2 more years, something around that. But now he said he leave. And he said, I'm going back to America. And then I say, but where do I go? And he say, just go. And I said, but go where? He said, if you cannot go with the DAO, you take your family to the beach and grab any log or anything that can keep you afloat. And the U.S. ship will pick you up. In my head, I said, what? What are you talking about? Because he's the kind of person, he doesn't kidding around. He works very firm, strictly at work. So one of the co-worker, he asked me, what Mr. Ye say? I said, you heard what he say. And then I talked with another co-worker, her name Tom, and she said, let me talk Nickerson, ask Nickerson. And I said, okay. And I asked another American Chinese, his name Mr. Lee. I asked him. He said the same thing Mr. Rap Ye told me. And I say, oh my goodness. And I go home, talk to my family and some friend, co-worker there. And they keep asking me, sister, are you going? And I say, go where? And I ask them, where are you going? They say, we don't know, but I think we go to Philippines. And I say, look, your guy's single. You can go so easy. But for me, I have 4 children. I take them. Where do I put them? That time I was still married to my ex-husband at that time. So back and forward. And the next thing I find out, everyone, all the U.S. Civil Service left Biên Hòa Air Base to Tanzania Air Base. So I went there for about a week because I was fortunate because God planned already decided for me. I had a pass that I can get in Tanzania Air Base. That the pass that I have, I don't have to turn in every time I get out of the base. So I use that one. I get in because you cannot go in the base without a pass. Unless you have a husband who's, working the base, they can take you in. So I use that pass. I come in for about, 4 or 5 days. I cannot find anybody to ask because no one's gonna tell me. At that time, our boss was a U.S. Air Force color. And I, in my head, I said, okay, the only last thing I can do now, I just prepare my paper to leave. So I taped the authorization and went over, asked the color to sign. So he signed it for me, my family, and my mom to leave. So I asked him, can you tell me where do we go? He gave me the same answer. So I said, in my head, I said, okay. So I went home, bring all my kids, my 4 children, and my mom to Saigon. And that day and night, I went back to work, and the next day I tried to bring them in, and we lived. When I come back, my mom left. And my cousin on my children's dad's side said, she said she missed other daughter. So she decided to stay. And that the cousin said, you cannot go without your husband, because what you're gonna do to raise your 4 children? You need help. So she sent me back to Biên Hòa. So I went back. I left the 3 older kids at her house. I brought a little one with me, and I come home. I told him, I say, you have to go. If you're not going, I'm not going. And he cried. Everybody in the family cried like funeral without body. His dad went to the church, asked to say mass, and everybody prayed. So he made my husband at that time agree with me. Say, okay, I'm gonna go with you, but if I get arrested, you have to take the children and go. You cannot go back. And I say, I agree, but God will be done. So he came with us, and we left. We left on the last flight from Tanzania Air Base. It was about around 1:30 in the morning of April 28th. And later on, I hear that at 4 o'clock in the morning, all the leave from communists everywhere in the airbase, and no more American aircraft land. So I also hear that we left in the C-130 cargo plane. So later on, I hear that aircraft supposed to go to Guam, but they dropped us at Philippines, Clark's Air Base, and then transport to different aircraft to Guam. And Jenny continued to, I still serve as the DAO employee. I was interpreting for immigration. So one day, one of the African-American Marine, she worked at she a guard at immigration. It's just a trailer though. she told me that now it's time for the all people that's sponsored by U.S. government can go. So I say, go where? She say Campington. I say, where's Campington? She say California, and I say California. She say, it's in the United States. And I say, okay, then I go. So I took up, went home, get paper, come in, tape, everybody, pass to go, and I left. One to Campington. It was scary. It was at night. They transport Earth into the Campington. My husband asked that time and night. We were so scared. How are we going to make our living to raise our kid? It was cold, but we survived. And although God gave me the free will to pick and choose, I contact my boss. He gave me the phone number before he left, and he told me that if I need anything, call him. So I call him. He's in Utah. 1 or 2 or 3 times a week. All I asked him was, how's the weather? Because my kid cannot survive cold weather. So he told me the weather, and I said, thank you, goodbye, I hung up. I did that for about 2 or 3 weeks. So finally, I met with someone from North Methodist Church in San Diego, and she asked, I was interpreting for someone that they come in visit. She asked me that if I like to come to San Diego. I asked her, where's San Diego? She said, about an hour drive from here. But I said, but how far? She said, about 50 miles. And I said, oh. And I asked, how's the weather? She says, the best weather in the United States. And then she said, let me ask my church and see if they would like to sponsor you. The next day, I have a guy come in. He was looking for me with a piece of paper in his hand. He said, our church going to sponsor you and your family. The first, I said, thank you. And the second question I asked was, I make statement, not ask, but I make statement. I said, I'm Catholic. And he said, you still can go to Catholic church, we just sponsor you. My head at that time is still, the religion is at the top, surprising me. After a while, God changed me. Close to like 1998, 91, 92, 93, 97, he asked me to leave the Catholic Church. But he kept telling me that the bishop will excommunicate you. And I said, what? Why he excommunicate me? Later on, the day that Jesus asked me, while I was sitting in the church, I just come in. I said, you need to leave right now. So I get up and I left the church. That was my last time. Later on, I find out there's a lot of God commandment in the Bible that religious minister and leader interpreting wrong, and they apply wrong. That's the reason that the Almighty told me that if you're there, you cannot teach what I tell you to teach. So it took me 6 months to talk to my uncle. By the way, I have an uncle, Catholic priest. He's in Arkansas. And I have the 2 cousins. One also Catholic priest who passed away already. And another cousin, he's a late cousin now. He was a bishop, head of San Franciscan Order in Đà Lạt, Vietnam. So it took me 6 months to talk to my uncle about I left Catholic Church. And I so released after I talked to him. He said, everybody have to obey God. In another word, indirectly, my uncle, who is a Catholic priest, understood me and approved me that I obey God and do what I'm doing since 1991. Here is my plan. My plan, in my prayer, I ask God for me to live and raise my youngest daughter until when she finished, until she's 18. Yes, she's 18, second years in college, and I extend my life. I ask for me to live, to raise her until she finished college. Immediately after she finished college, I asked for me to continue work and save my money. I planned about $2 million for put in the bank and earn saving. And then I will be retired at about 55, so I can travel. Yes, living on saving of around $2 million and travel. It won't work that way. Nope, God plan kick in. Beginning of early 1992, I dream almost every night. Surprising me that I get up, I remember every detail. I decided to do a journal. So I copy down my dream, what I heard, understand nothing. Just understand nothing. Like everybody now. Oh, my dream is so weird. But later on I understood. They are symbol. In another word, that God communicates with everyone through your dream. Directly. In symbol. And the word you hear, you don't hear from God, but you hear from God. Because God is your dad, your mom, your uncle, your friend, whoever you associate in your life. Voice to speak to you. So you have to come to understand. Those are simple and hidden meaning. I have a vow. Very soon here I will begin to teach class to understand dream, because dream is another language, universal language that the Almighty used to speak to each and every human race. Dream come in with His power. Doesn't matter you remember the dream or you don't remember the dream. Most of the time people don't remember the dream. You have to pray so you can remember. Come with power. That's how it works. Come to your soul. But if you're too far away from God, you will either not understand what God telling you, or you don't remember your dream. People don't remember your dream and don't even know that you dream, because you're too far away from the Almighty. So you check yourself on that. Trust me, I give you 100%